Hey everybody, welcome back to Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home for another Oh Dark 30 shave. It's about 5:30 a.m. on a Thursday. Yes, a Thursday video. This is part two or day two of my 7 days, 7 shaves, 7 videos, picking out the favorite DE or SE razor in the den. So this is day two for that. And I was able to get the video loaded yesterday a little bit quicker than I thought. I had a break during the day, so I may try to do that again today. But before we get started, right over here, look at the barber pole with cowboy hat. Please click on that. That is my subscribe button. And we appreciate all the subscriptions. We're getting closer to 800, and we certainly appreciate that. And then also down here somewhere, you're going to see a notification bell. Please ring that, and you'll get notified of any new content that comes. And then most importantly, right down here, www.theshavingcadre.com. Come and see us. We'd certainly appreciate it. And make sure that you see this on YouTube as well, because down in the comments section, you'll see a total bunch of a list of characters that have their own YouTube channels that support the TSC, as well as our manufacturer of our soap today. So please make sure you check out their sites and everything, because they support me, they support the TSC, and you should support them as well. Okay, what are we doing today? Well, again, we're going to continue with our DE SE shootout, and today we're going to use the Blackland Tradari. This was a remake of an old razor a long time ago. This is the open comb version. They do have a closed comb version. Very heavy, very nice. I would call it mildly aggressive, and it's got a brand new Persona Super Blade in it, so we'll be using that for the soap today. Again, continuing with the Arion and Evans, we're going to be using the original Kaizen. This is not the newer formula. This is the older one, and it's getting down to the bare bones, but it's still wonderful. And then we'll be using Kaizen aftershave, both for the aftershave and the EDT. And then, of course, we'll be using Quinn's pink grapefruit and orange rind, witch hazel. So let's go ahead and get started for the day. Hope everybody's doing good for a Thursday. Work week winding down. And this, oh, and also, by the way, we're going to be using the Sorrentino Corleone with a synthetic knot. This was about probably a 10 to 15 second load directly off the container. And I floated a teaspoon of water on top of it while I took my shower. And that's all she needs. I know that, and I'm not super familiar with Arion and Evans as far as their bases and stuff like that. I think this is the original Kaizen base, and it's plenty good. Easy to lather, takes on water really well. To get it as thick or as thin as you'd like, depending on what you're using. It's kind of weird. I'm using DEs and SEs for 7 days, which means I won't be using any straights this week, which is an oddity for me. I mean, other than the straights that I'm going to be using at the shop doing straight razor shaves. Okay, let's get started. I call this razor mildly aggressive because for an open comb, I find it extremely efficient. However, it is so heavy, and I'm sorry I don't have a scale here, but that you really, I compare it to a wedge, like a large 8/8 Waston Home or Wade and Butcher 8/8 that you don't have to put any effort into the shave. You just kind of let the razor fall down your face. However, if you do put pressure on this, especially with the open comb version, I've tried the original Tradari, and this one is exact. But it can be aggressive if you allow it to be. I just don't find it that aggressive. I have, there'll be 3 Blackland razors in this shootout this week. One being this, the other being the Vector, which is a single edge, and then finally the titanium Blackbird. And quite frankly, even though it's a closed comb safety bar razor, I find the Blackbird the most aggressive almost out of any DE SE razor I have, maybe barring the gem razors, because those are just meat cleavers and you got to be real careful with them. That's why I'm probably going to save those for the weekend where I can take my time. But I find the Blackbird, and I don't know if it's because of the weight of the titanium or just the way the gap is, I find it an extremely aggressive razor in a good way. It took me a while to get used to it, but I find that of all the black ones probably the most aggressive. This one is just a blast to use. And when you look at the whole profile of the razor itself, it, to me, the Tridari is in the same realm. Even though it's a modern DE open comb razor, I put it in the same realm as the original Darwin, which unfortunately I was never able to get. And then when it was remade, I missed that too. But the Darwin has got that beautiful Art Deco look. And it really has some craftsman stuff in it that is just fantastic. I know you can get the Darwin on the secondary market, but it's pretty expensive. And for the most part, I've pretty much stopped buying DE or SE razors, because I found most of them that I have that are my favorites. The only one that I'm considering is the Saber. And again, that's another Blackland razor, except it's the single edge gem style. And from every report that I've read, everybody loves the razor because it's got the efficiency of a gem blade, which is a very stiff, hard blade to begin with, and then it's got the modern conveniences of a newer razor. And up until this contest, obviously, I feel that the Blackland Vector is probably the finest single edge razor out there, and really probably one of the finest razors because it's like it's on autopilot. However, there's been some people on the cadre and other forums that have claimed that the Saber is even better than the Vector. So it's got me curious. Curious enough to buy it yet? I don't know. I may try to see if there's anybody that has one that I can try and then make that determination. But as I said, my primary focus is straights. And so would it be worthwhile? Well, it depends. Because for the most part during the week, from Wednesday through, during my work week, I should say, when I have the shop open from Wednesday through Saturday, other than the Essence by Titleist, or maybe an errant straight shave during the week, it's usually a DE or an SC. So we'll see. And usually I find myself grabbing for the Vector, or even this razor, to be honest with you. And So let's see if we need any cleanup today. This shootout's going to be, yeah, just a little bit. The shootout's going to be interesting because all of these razors that I'm choosing are extremely efficient. Extremely easy to use. And the main focus is to see whether a $200 brand new DE or SD razor, how that compares to the $3.99 version that Gillette had years and years ago, whether that be a Super Speed, a Fat Boy, or a new Long Comb. So we shall see. A little bit more cleanup today than yesterday's shave. So that'll be interesting to see. A little bit more feedback on the alum, and that's to be expected because the razor today obviously a little bit more aggressive than yesterday. And again, we're going to be using Quinn's pink grapefruit and orange rind because it goes real well with the orange notes of the Ariane and Evans Kaizen. Let that dry down for just a little bit. So day 2 in the books. Close running so far. So we'll see how that continues. And again, we'll be using the Kaizen aftershave. One thing I will say for Ariane and Evans is their aftershave, which is almost a milk, but the bottle design, from an efficiency standpoint, I mean, it's got wonderful reducer. And you know, most people say, it's just a reducer. What's the big deal? Well, it's a big deal when you're when you're putting on aftershave, in my opinion. We're just waiting for my face to dry down a little bit, and we'll put on a little bit of talc, and then we'll call it a day. Again, using a neutral talc to allow the fragrance of the Kaizen to come across. We're just using Clubman, which is pretty much the same one that I use in the shop all the time. I mean, I do have Yardley and a couple other ones for when my clients pay for their ultimate shave, which is the luxury shave. When I use SV products and stuff like that, I'll use a higher end talc to finish it. But mostly it's always the Clubman. It's tried, it's true, been around forever, and it's neutral enough to where it doesn't affect any of the fragrances that you put on. And again, we're going to be using the Kaizen as a EDT today on all the heat points and everything else, just to, and it's a wonderful, there's some people that don't like it. They think it's a turned fragrance. I think it's a wonderful mandarin, oriental, floral, but also pungent at the same time. So There you have it, folks. Day 2 of the 7 days and 7 days and 7 days. We certainly do appreciate you joining us this early in the morning. Like I said, I may try to get this loaded by the afternoon. It may be early in the morning. It may be, who knows? It depends on if I get a break during the day at the shop and everything else. So I hope you have it. And for recap, we use the Blackland Tridari. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous razor in the open comb version with a Persona Super. For our soap, we used the original Kaizen from Ariane and Evans, the Kaizen Aftershave, and of course the Quinn's Pink Grapefruit and Orange Rind Witch Hazel Talc and all that good stuff. So again, thank you for stopping by at Barber Dave's Barbershop at Home. I'm Barber Dave, and we'll see you again tomorrow for day 3 of the DESE Razor Shootout. Have a great day.